Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Aeon of Sands, The Trail. Haven't said The Trail very often during my summaries, but that's part of the title, and our trail has brought us eventually deep beneath our home Kamami tree, where we are fighting our way through all a means of horrific monsters, zombies filled with fungi, very fast, very strong, Aran ghosts and nightmares, which can only be harmed by magic, warlocks, bandits, worms, and magic-dealing turrets, eye stalks, effectively, lashing out at us. And we have made it to what I suspect is the entrance to the boss chamber up ahead of us. It's been a long time for us venturing in our own home to reach this far, and hopefully we will be able to save our tree, or there's not going to be a future for us. However, I'm not sure there's a future for us anyway, because once we fall down that pit, we're not getting back up it again. I suspect Cintrani may end up being a little more heroic than he ever wanted to be in the near future. I've done a little bit of inventory management since we last have talked to viewer. I moved a bunch of garbage out of Courtney. I went ahead and equipped her with the colonist suit. Eventually, for all that stamina, she's no longer suffering a mana penalty, I don't think either. So she can actually cast, I think, like 2 spells now, if it comes down to it. Maybe 3 with our Warm Wobble, if it comes down to it. Alright, and that's about it. So we're as set as we're going to be. Let me quickly save off the intro. And now we'll go ahead and begin what might be the last video. I'm assuming we drop down here and then it's going to be like some text. If it's not, I may be doing the ending a little earlier than I thought. Let's see what happens when we drop down here. Normally, we don't drop down pits very often. Normally, we would take a little bit of damage upon falling. So let's see if that's the case this time. It is not. Okay, that's a bit awkward. Okay, so this is where we fell down from. Been a long time since I've typed something up on the map. Everything seems to have a slightly different hue down here. And we can see further up above us, too. Like the ceiling here, there is none. Interesting. It gives it a different feel to this area. I hear something moving around up ahead of us. This wall feels odd. Okay, so that's a teleportation wall. Oh, well, I see the switch. So this, I'm guessing this is what's going to open. Sand leech juice. That's 100 hit points healed. Oh, sorry, 16 hit points healed. Recovers lost hit points and tastes really bad. So refreshing and oddly nausea-inducing. Luckily, highly addictive. What else do we have here? Blood vial of Clippet bug taken. Vial potion that heals you while hurting you at the same time. Not for the faint of heart. It only damages our stamina, though, not our hit points. Anti-venom. Do we need anti-venom? We've never been poisoned yet. Even just a stroll in the desert's morning air can make you want to drink it. Look! There's a small letter's writing on the casing. It reads, Placebo. Surely that means it's even more tasty. It means it's not real anti-venom. I guess actually we should give it to Courtney. This feels like this is a treasure trove for the last portion of the game to me. Like we're gearing up for the final boss is my guess. Purple rats. We've killed you an age ago. Nice. It does indeed hurt every single one. It does bounce around that chain lightning. Well, this is very ominous. It's dark, it's glowing purple, and we have torches lining what looks to be some sort of giant room. Oh, and there's a secret lever here. Did that open something behind us? It did. Way back here. Oh. Well, if someone else didn't make it. Sweet fruit. Sweet. I give a lot of the healing items to Citrani because he's in the front and lucky to take all the hits that we have going at us. Glass Scimitar. 3.9 damage, 4 through 10. A little better than our Iron Curved Blade. 1 more point of max damage. I guess since we've been leaving rocks in the niches, we will continue to do that. Not that I think it matters very much. One final eye stalk. So if that's not proof that someone else had been in here and was planting those on his trip, I don't know what is. We can touch the torches. Standard torch. Bringing light into the darkness since, who knows, maybe just yesterday? By the way, who even lighted it up? I think it would be fair to ask me how I managed to get this far in underground environments without torches. I guess I'm a luminous person. Darkness falls on your eyes. Oh, we can put them out? And we can light them again. Oh! Is there like a puzzle here? 2401? Is that... No, there's too many torches here. I'm still thinking that that ancient flat stone we found in the cybernetic queen's area might be used somehow here, but it's not. I don't know how that would work. Let's just press on. Although this wall looked weird for half a second. We could put out all the torches, but we'll leave them lit. I am getting Amnesia, the Dark Descent vibes with that I see up ahead. It's not an orb, but it feels like it should be. Guided by the strange, alien, and sickening pressure, more intense down here than anywhere else the clerk has felt it, Citrani finally reaches the core of the Underroots, a place he never thought he would see, and that, really, he never wished to. This is the soul of the tree, the seed. Not that it makes any sense to argue now why a tree can be both a giant body and such a tiny thing at the same time. It's not either anymore. It's dead. Feel it? The clerk jumps at the voice. Who spoke? except it was not a voice that he heard with his ears, but that he rather felt, spreading in the stones beneath his feet, reverberating in his very bones, and feral, laughing and growling with excitement. Creepy. "Who are you? Show yourself!" As if in answer to the clerk's demand, something moves. A mass of shadow and a tangle of roots at the gnarled feet of the seed's crib. "Come out where I can see you!" A feeling of sorrow, too badly timed to be understood, grips Centrani as he looks towards the seed, but the voice continues like the edge of a blade, deliberately slow, cutting him. "Down here. You are late. I expected someone. Late. The man disappoints." Peer into the darkness. Inside the shadow, or rather, part of it, there is a man, or something that had passed as such, maybe. Nothing seems real anymore to the clerk, except for the pressure he feels, rising and wanting to suffocate him. The pressure. The man who is not a man, crouching at the base of the crib, twists with the shadow that engulfs him. Pleasure or pain, or both, are consuming him, yet he seems to swell, to enlarge. Me. I did it. Me gave to the flow, and it tears I, and me tears it. All the desert. The desert opened its mouths to devour you. No one will stand taller than any beast. It sounds like he's trying to reduce all of civilization back to an age where it didn't exist. And I guess the Konami tree is a symbol of civilization, a city, structure, order sprouting out around it. And he wants to demolish it, is my guess. I don't understand. Centrani is paralyzed with horror and oppression. He would want to talk and to know, as if mere words, information could dispel the nightmare. Then the shadow whirls stop for an instant, and from inside the black mass, a red gaze is looking at him with contempt. Everything explodes. Space bends impossibly, like an object violently bursting and exploding inwards, at the same time being subject and object of the explosion. Light exchanges its place with an erosion spreading from a sun, while the journey of each ray is run in the opposite direction by the opposite information. Is that even English? The one who maybe had been a man, or maybe only passed as such, is no more. He had become a pretense in his parable, and now that too fell. We're watching something which is extraordinarily difficult, I think, to try to be described to us. I don't understand it either. Only a knot shredded by folly, a self-made slit in the reality, open like a throat giving in to an unseen knife. We're seeing something impossible form in front of us and take shape. Look at the picture! Please tell me we don't have to fight this guy. I would say that I'm lost, but at this point, who cares? Hands of shadow, cruel and lethal, emerge from the nightmare. Limbs of pure darkness stretching in the defiled soil of its litter. So this guy basically shed his skin, and something, like, crawled out of it that we're seeing up here to fight us. The unknown quantity of the alien desert, the malevolence that Centrani has escaped from furiously along his travels, is finally here, nestled in the roots of his home. Inevitable, as it has been from the start. It attacks. Fight for your life! We do have to fight it. Alright, let's do a quick save. I missed. That's a shame. Okay, I don't want to be surrounded, and I would like to kill all the ads first if I can. Oh, hello. I don't like the sound that's emitting. I feel... Oh, God. I feel that's a bad sound. Maybe if we put out the torches, something special happens? Oh, God. This guy died. We'll take some more rust from him. I really like that the game gives you items to find while you're fighting even the final boss to help you with consumables if you need the help. I want to make sure all the ads are defeated. Ooh. Magnetized iron. We'll grab that. So it seemed like the creature was immune to magic when I tried to strike it really quickly with it. But let's see if it's immune to having grenades thrown at it. Only got 2 of those, Tim. Oh, okay, and we were sealed inside this chamber. It's quick. D25 to Asunder Beast. Electricity deals no damage. Oh, that was a mistake. Okay, yeah, magic does nothing to it. That's kind of a shame. Because we prepped for that. Like to use lots of magic here. Maybe our flamethrower will burn it to death? No, flame does no damage. It's immune to all elemental attacks. Hurt and bleeding pure darkness. Its tendrils touching and sticking to surfaces that are just not there. The creature savagely claws at the thin air, trying to tear open something invisible. Reality, no less wounded than the beast, injured by many a hand beside the deformed one here present, covered with unhealed lacerations as Atrani could see on his recent travels. Reality gives. I love the description. I cannot, however, I can't vision something tearing apart reality as it attacks us. And that when it misses us or lashes out at us, it tears, like it shreds it or damages it. But we've seen this like corruption in our map. I forgot to even look at, I didn't even notice it. I'm assuming it was worse down here. that it was tearing apart everything that the game itself was losing to it. A fold, dark and livid, its edges flapping at the wrong intersections, like a balloon deflating as seen from its sides. Oh, that's a wonderful way to describe it. The tear escapes the control of the dying creature, unraveling, running up across its arms, devouring it. Oh, that's an awful way to... That sounds like it's like rippling as it perishes, folding in on itself in some horrific way. Ugh. With a last scream reverberating through the shuddering caverns of the underroots, up through Konami's dying body, shaking Citrani's entire world, the man who was not a man dies horribly. I'm not going to scream like he is. We'll just, he's screaming. Citrani feels the pull of the gash, a living thing raging madly at him, at life and at reality. The clerk is retching, ill, lost as a black mouth runs screaming at him, desperate. But it never reaches him, dissipating instead with the death of the Warper. Does this tell me that, like, the gash... I thought that was that giant crevasse that we circumvented around. Maybe it had been brought here? Or maybe it actually was a living thing, staring up at us, hating us for existing. The sound, the real sound, returns to the cave as the pressure eases, or the sense of hearing sets again on sensible tracks, who knows? Only the sounds he hears now are no less terrifying. A sinister creaking running through the roots, a slow shaking. The mere act of standing up becomes very difficult. Citrani raises his gaze to the crib. The seed is dead. Run. Citrani flees. The underroots around him, dug by centuries of rhizome growth and movement, and by women and men who took shelter under Konami, slowly building the city above. The underroots shake and collapse. The roots themselves dry out and scale off in front of him as he runs blindly. Stones and dirt fall from the ceilings and walls where the tree doesn't hold them anymore. A tide of sand erupts from every crevice, tramples every creature too slow to escape from its path, choking the underroots. A deafening thunder quakes the cluttered veins as light itself suffocates. Maybe check a manual of physics sometime. Black becomes everything. Oh, time to sleep then. After a long dead dream, struggling inch by inch in the black sand, fighting for every second, he manages to subtract from the time of surrender. Finally, the clerk is hit by an air draft. Some sickly light then, stumbling down in an unsteady hole he finds himself in. Crawl up. After more time, hours, a whole day, the light seems to never change its quality. But oh, he's so tired. He's not even certain of his eyes. Has he fallen asleep? It sounds like we're dead. He manages... Oh, no. He manages to crawl to the open air. Oh my god. He almost wishes he hadn't. This cannot be. This cannot be. But it is. The two suns of mid-morning shine cruelly on the city's ruins. The perspective is strange as he, weak and shaking, manages to stand up. He sees the tree as he used to at its base, wishing not to the sky, but to the horizon. He stands on a huge hill of rubble amidst the plucked roots of Konami. The sacred tree has been burned from the inside and from the outside, and its killed body has crashed down on the dome. Pentella is destroyed. Too late. Alternatively, we might have missed something in our adventure. Well, we're not done yet, but we might have missed something in our adventure that would have allowed us to circumvent this particular ending. Maybe this is a bad ending we're getting. I love the picture back here, though, of this... What is this? Like, crawling on the tree. That looks great. Cintrani lets himself drop on the dirt, exhausted. Warm tears write two pale stories in the umber of his face. One of exhilaration at the stay of execution. The other of futility. Every scare, every danger, for nothing. The city has fallen, and there is no shelter for him. No shelter for his people either. He's not the only survivor. He sees them, few, scattered. Most of them from the outskirts of the city, where the madness did not reach the end of the branch, and more from around the trunk. He forces himself to look at the foliage, smoked, blackened, precipitated to death. It was not my fault. Not my fault! So much loss. It's then that he sees them, just beyond. And somehow he understands. He stands up. Shivering, he averts his eyes from the foliage for now. Let it go. The survivors are flocking together, weakly as if after a fever. The clerk looks at them, all sharing the same guilt that he carries. But alive. He starts down the hill, a tiny taste in his mouth. Join them. In groups or alone, having by now seen what he saw from above, his ex-citizens are gathering close to the broken dome, not far from the Maginov Gate, now a pile of rubble. Not all of them. Some simply gave up. They turned their backs to what now awaits outside and to the other citizens, and slowly walked into the shadows of the wreck to screen themselves from the suns. He asks himself with sadness if those who were the ones that actually were not taken in by the folly of the previous days, if those were the ones that stood for the city. The sane ones. What would that make of me? But it's not too late for all of that. But it's too late for all of that. It is too late. Outside the dome, a whole nomad tribe awaits them. The desert is there. Everything was for nothing, the clerk says to the dead tree as he crosses the shattered glass, but his meaning is lost to the sands outside. Goodbye. A large, unseen hand, unreasoning and uncaring, has again swept the land, as it has done countless times. The nomads stand still in the heat, unreal, with no hurry, a few minutes away, like an illusion. Cintrani walks to them. So I guess we joined the nomads in the end, failing to save our tree. Oh man, so we got a bad ending. I know there are multiple endings to the game. I think there's 3. And I guess if that wasn't the worst ending, then that was probably the neutral ending, where we didn't save it. So I've heard that to get the good ending, you have to find certain things through the adventure. Man, I wonder what I missed. Or was it just my final answer there that caused us to lose? Or maybe I wasn't supposed to fight the guy and kill him. Maybe there was something else I was supposed to do. Man. A tough thing about this game is that there isn't a whole lot of information about it out there either. So if I want a good ending, I'd have to go around and try to figure out what I did wrong. But I liked it. I very much liked this game. And not every game has to have a happy ending. That's a shame, though, since Trani gave it his all, and in the end, it just wasn't enough. Oh, that sucks. I was hoping for at least that he might be able to get away with Courtney and go back to the pit Courtney lived in. Man. Well, anyway, let's talk really quick about what I liked about the game, which is almost everything. The writing, once again, I feel like it was I think it was a little too much fourth wall breaking occasionally, but I can forgive it for that, since that was the theme it was going for with most of the selections that I'm choosing, for example. I also get the impression that the game designers probably weren't expecting people to like read it out loud. So those are your just clicking on the text to get to the next part of the story. Oh, holy crap, look at that. We get also some stats. Oh, wow. 1 step away from 37 steps taken. I wonder if the ending is also dependent upon... I wonder if the ending there is dependent upon how many steps I take or turns I... No, turns are how many, I think, actual pivots I take. I like the music. I like the graphics. I like how difficult the combat is. I like the story. I like the setting. I thought this was a phenomenal game. I really liked it. I don't even care that I got what I think is probably a bad ending. I think it was great. And I can totally... Oh, yep, you traveled back to Pentella, but you were late. So I don't think we missed anything. We just didn't get there quick enough. We explored too much. Second prize contender at Neons of the Canned. Oh, okay, and this was the video game that we played in the Cybernetic Queen's dungeon. Interesting. I can totally see myself playing through this game again at some point. But I am going to look up online specifically directly how to get a good ending. There must be a way to do it. We killed 861 enemies as well. Okay. Well, not bad. Oh, what the heck? No, don't do that. Oh, right. I've heard that, yeah, okay, that's good to see. So in New Game Plus, you can skip the tutorial dungeon altogether if you don't want to do it. And I've heard that a recent patch of the game also added 2 other companions that you can choose to start with, I think, after you leave the tutorial dungeon if you do play New Game Plus. So there's that as well. Well, anyway, I hope you guys didn't mind the ending so much. I know we did a lot of work, but in the end, that doesn't necessarily mean we get a happy ending. And by we did a lot of work, I mean Citrani. He didn't get it done in the end. Took too long. Man. Or maybe... Well, no. I'll stop there. I'm beginning to babble a little too much. So anyway, so thank you guys for watching Aeon of Sands. If I do play through the game again and I get a different ending, I will make sure to record that different ending and it will get uploaded to this playlist. But I can't promise that will happen anytime soon because I have lots of other games I need to get to or I want to get to. So thank you guys again for watching, and maybe I'll see you in the next game. Take care, everyone.